Well, that was loud.
Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, dogs, cats, iguanas, and penguins. You are listening to Fun with Bob and Lynn. And you might actually be watching it, too.
And we hope you are, because that's the real fun, if you know what I mean.
So I'm turning down and off the music.
Oh, nice smooth transition,
yeah,
mister.
I know, it's not that good.
Do we get to see ourselves in video?
Oh, sure. Let's, of course.
Just because we love to look at ourselves.
We need to look at ourselves. That's way more important than me being able to, produce this program.
Well, shall we, let's just share that it is...
Oh, wait. Welcome to Fun with Bob and Lynn.
Effects.
I turned that off so that you'd be able to hear, but obviously you're hearing just fine. So we don't. Maybe
Are they hearing it that loud?
No, that's just me having the headphone volume cranked.
Okay, so just so y'all know, we had that. What you just heard, the little applause, like firecrackers going off in our ears. Hi,
big ass firecrackers.
Oh, that should be a costume.
BAF.
Actually, and it's right before Halloween. You're listening to Fun with Bob and Lynn, and that Tuesday night at 7, as we always are, Pacific time.
Right. As we broadcast now, it's the 28th, and so we're just 3 days away from All Hallows Eve. And, Lynn posted today, I saw that you posted about our...
previous show?
2 years ago. Mm-hmm. The Tiny Tenuta what is it?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Goblins and
But
Gumby.
Man, was it classic. You gotta listen. This was way before we were doing, high-tech video like this. By the way, sorry. Cody the happy dog. Let's see if we... Oh, I can't. Oh, well.
Oh, I don't know what he was going to try to show.
I was just a little applause for Cody. But, but that's okay. It's okay.
Reach your applause.
I know. I think here we go.
Okay, here we go. Here's Cody applause coming down.
No, I turned it down.
And now...
it's... I think they heard it. Anyway.
Alrighty then. Still need to figure out the systems, even though we spent all day trying to figure out systems today. Hi.
Actually, yeah, this was my studio was completely dismantled today and then put back together to solve a problem that's still here.
Yeah, don't you love that?
By the way, Lynn isn't the problem.
Thank you for clarifying.
So, welcome one and all. By the way, Lynn, I'll share this with you.
Is it my name, Lynn?
You know how we have the pop-up,
Bob.
that annoying pop-up that I can't seem to make stop coming up on our page at funwithbobandlynn.com, which is really where you should be consuming this program.
Oh, my goodness, yes. You've got 50 shows to choose from. Actually, all sorts of adventures.
But you could be listening on iTunes, and that's cool, too, or any number of other outlets, but Fun with Bob
iTunes,
and Lynn,
they should subscribe to the podcast.
They should, definitely, and have it downloaded to your phone so you can get the entire... amazing collection. Crap. I forgot what I was going to say.
I do not know where you were going with that.
I don't know.
So I'm so sorry.
So, yeah.
But I will say that on our Fun with Bob and Lynn page, that's might be where you're going because you're trying to get the pop-up off of there. Maybe that's
yeah. Yes.
See?
We actually had a few people who had subscribed
to
be notified when the show is live.
Good.
And that is happening right now. And so I sent out a little mail a little while ago to those handful of people who actually filled out that form. So if you, too, would love to be notified when we're going to do this again, because who wouldn't? Funwithbobandlynn.com, fill out the form, and then that's it. The other thing I wanted to say about that has also jumped out of my brain.
Then let me fill in, because there's things I want to say about that, which is that you can look for the Tiny Tenuta, Tenuta, Tiny Tenuta, Goblins and Gumby is the name of the show. And that's on the Fun with Bob and Lynn page. But we have so many shows on that page that you kind of have to go through pages.
That's right.
Till you find it.
That's how prolific we are.
But it was really fun because it was us at the end of our night-long adventure of Halloween 2 years ago, walking down Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood and it is 500,000 people across really 2 miles packed in there, walking up and down, and some of the craziest, most elaborate costumes and concepts you can imagine. A cavalcade, literally. And it is actually...
A cavalcade of sexual ambiguity. Wow, that would have been so much better had I been able to say the word.
Cavalcade of...
Sexual ambiguity.
Sexual ambiguity, sure. Yeah, because you never know, is it a man or a woman dressed as a man or a woman.
Or a man and a woman.
Or
these days.
Is it a zombie hidden as a real human being? I don't know.
We don't know.
But it is so much fun. And so we've got commentary that we did from that time, which was really fun, that little show. And we are going to be doing this Halloween with Eli and Valjean.
Right.
And we've got
so
a
do we
concept.
not say their last names, or they just sort of...
Well, we can say their
nameless?
last names. I just was saying.
That's
Our
okay.
friends,
we can respect
Eli
their
and
privacy.
Valjean.
They may not want to be associated with this program.
Sure.
Although I believe that they at least expressed some sort of... Did they say something about... No, that was about joining us on Halloween, not listening to this show.
But no, they're in there. I'm sure they wouldn't mind us saying their last name. And there's no mystery. Eli Davidson
Johnson.
and
Valjean Johnson.
Okay, great. And we actually came up, we're not going to reveal it now. Maybe we'll reveal it in next week's show as we talk about what happened. But we have a concept between the four of us that we just love. And it was normally like just pretty straightforward concept at first, and then it got a twist.
I think we should
a couple
tell
nights ago.
I think we should tell them.
All right, you can let the cat out of
But
the bag.
did they agree
do you
to
want to
it?
let the bra out of the bag?
Did they agree to it?
What? Yeah, absolutely. They're so game on. They think it's
All
awesome.
right.
And they said, we're in it to win it. No one's going to beat us on this, man.
Okay, so first of all, before we get too deep in, I know that most of you are chomping at the bit to be a part of this program. And so the way to do that is via Skype. You've heard of Skype at Skype.com. It's a free video conferencing.
Is that why she's there? She's on Skype.
Yeah, well, she's just...
Ava.
This is our account, and she's a contact.
Okay.
To reach us at Fun with Bob and Lynn on Skype and interact with us live, which, that's what this show's... Sorry, long day.
I'm snuggling up to
Right,
Bob
and
in case you're wondering, what the hell's going on up there?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Some of this is just audio. Anywho, yes, you can call in, basically, is what we're saying. At
That'd be
Fun with Bob
great.
and Lynn is the Skype ID. So, come on. Last time we did this, which was 2 weeks ago, and we'll talk about why last week isn't on this page as of right now.
You want to hang in and hear that because
Because we did a show, but you didn't hear it. Well, some of you might have. There was a handful.
If you were live,
heard it.
you might have
heard it / seen it.
There's
and
a reason why it's deleted.
But I swear it's coming back. It's in the archive somewhere.
No.
And yes, it's too classic. It's great.
Oy.
Anyway, 2 weeks ago we said, come on, call, and nobody called. Even though we knew there were people out there because they commented. So
come and join in the fun.
just click on Skype.
So how are you going to know
call
they're
us.
calling in? You have
We'll hear
that
Skype
blocked.
going.
Beep, beep, beep. Okay. Just as long as we know. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hey, boy, that's dangerous. We have no idea. We don't have a way to screen, and who knows who's calling in, what they have to say.
Yep, but we have a way to hang
Living
up
on
on
the
people.
edge. Living on the edge.
And who cares? It's internet. I mean, if they're just, not interesting, and we just gracefully say, well, I can't tell you what we say because then I'm going to say it, and then they're going to go, they didn't think I was interesting. So Lynn is, if you're watching, you can see Lynn touching various parts of her face over and over.
Oh, my gosh.
Because,
okay. And women will so relate to this, and men might too, because, Bob and I both were having a, wow, we're not into how we're looking today day.
how egocentric do we have to be to have this actual conversation between a man? But I've looked at myself as I first turned on this, Google Hangout to say, okay, let's get ready. And I go look at my eyes and I go, oh my God, I look like I haven't slept in 8 years. And boy.
And what's funny is I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, look how handsome he looks. He looks so handsome. See, this is why you have to watch the Google Hangout so you can see this radio show and see his handsomeness.
Okay.
Or see us live as we're touching each other.
Correct.
In
Hey,
appropriate ways. Inappropriate
If you hadn't said that, we probably would have gotten a lot more subscribers.
Space.
Wait a minute.
Appropriate ways. But here's the thing about me as a woman is I know in normal video shoots you got to put a little extra makeup on because otherwise your face gets washed out with the lights. And certainly we've done this a number of times.
We have.
And I tossed on the makeup. I couldn't find the eyeliner I normally use. I use this other eyeliner that I don't like for reasons you're about to find out.
Can you imagine?
I know. But it turned, so then I think, okay, well, that'll work. It's really, woo, but you get away with a lot with the lights. And then I sit down here and it looks like my eyes are I have this big blackness on my both eyes, and my mouth was extra like dark, and I'm like, okay, I need to adjust this. I go back. I could not. I did my best. It is adjusted, but not the way I would have liked. I couldn't get my makeup adjusted the way I would have liked.
It's her first time with makeup, ladies and gentlemen. We have to be understanding and patient.
And what's funny is that it was completely a facetious remark, because for years and years and years, theater, TV, film, producing videos, putting on other people's makeup for the videos I produce. You
Including
name it.
Mine,
I am a makeup person, right? And I used the wrong tool, because one of the things I hate about this one eyeliner, first, it doesn't go on very well, but I couldn't find the one I wanted to use, so I just grabbed and used that.
Hang in there, gentlemen.
And I know, do hang in there. There's a point to it. They hear
There's a
women
really
talking
manly
like
story
this.
coming up any moment.
Watch for the metaphor, would you?
Okay, sorry. Of
He
course,
always
I should
loves
have.
dissing on me.
No,
never lets me tell my
no,
stories.
It's not true. I don't.
It's so
diss.
true. Listen to every 50 shows
Fine,
that we have.
Otherwise I never get a word in edgewise.
That's so not true either. Anyway, the metaphor is that you got to use the right tool, because I could not get it off. It was waterproof. It would not come off. It was then smearing, and then wherever the smear was, I couldn't get off. And my face is raw as can be right now from just scrubbing and not being able to get much off, and only making it worse. It's passable now, Yahoo. But the metaphor is about using the right tool, because
I am more limber than I was when I started the show because of the stretch that was. Okay.
Hey, come on, we had to have a point to it.
I guess.
But the women will relate, because we have so been there. Men are
right,
like,
ladies and gentlemen?
Let me adjust my jockstrap right now.
Women,
make sure I hold on to my masculinity.
If that's true, will you please comment or chat or do something? There is a chat window if you're at the Spreaker page. There's just too many ways to interact with us.
The Spreaker page, it's too hard for people to figure out chat.
It
you
is
can
a
try.
little bit difficult.
You can try.
I mean,
we don't push chat. We want you to call in.
That's right. We want you
or comment on Facebook,
right,
or on our funwithbobandlynn.com.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And we're still playing with new technologies in terms of how to best deliver this show. But right now, this is what we got. We're video and audio combined. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good for this
day
and age.
All right.
So we didn't talk about the costume concept. That's a big open loop right there.
It is an open loop. So let's close the other open loop first.
Oh, really?
All right. We'll open.
Okay, fine.
We'll close the costume loop. So so there's a place here in L.A. called
Robinson's
Utilities, and we didn't get any money for that. Why do we give them free? I should have just said there's a costume rental place. Now they're going to get all this money.
Yes.
They're all this business. 3 days before Halloween.
Are you burping like crazy?
I'm trying
What's
not
going
to.
on?
I got a hiccup.
Are you hiccuping? Here's some water. Just take little sips.
All right.
This is for you guys.
This is the way to get me to stop talking.
Yes. Thank you. No, 10 little sips in a row. No,
1.
10 sip. Actual, really sip it. 10 sips in a row.
2.
And you can even 10 sips in a row and look up while you do it.
It's fine. I'm fine.
It will take away your
hiccups. I
hiccups.
can get rid of my hiccups by holding my breath. I don't need this sippy thing.
Well, then hold your breath so you don't talk. Just kidding. All right, take it, Bob.
You go. I think I've really gone over my 7 minutes. So.
Oh, Lordy. So, Robinson's Utilities, you were saying we went there and...
I'm sorry, I'm over my 7 minutes. It's your
okay,
turn.
I'll take it. So I'll talk the rest of the show then. And then he can just interrupt
that's why
and diss
people
me
tune
when
in.
he can.
No, I'm not going to diss you.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll wait until the first diss. Right, Cody? All right, so anyway, we thought, let's go explore. This is like one of the biggest costume places around. A lot of TV shows and events will rent, and theaters and things will rent costumes from there. So they have just about everything you can imagine. It is stuffed into this warehouse of a place, though, so it's overwhelming. You start going, because there's everywhere you look, it's just stuff everywhere and so much to see. But we thought, let's go and figure out what do we want to be. And at first, when we went in there, we had 20 minutes or half an hour, and we were inundated, and we looked around going, it could be that. I don't know, we got to come back. But we did see when we were in that little space of time, we're like, let's take a couple pictures of these possibilities, because we saw, are we talking about exactly what we're doing? It's okay?
Yeah.
Cat out of the bag. All right, so we saw like
that way.
a
Those
sexy...
who are in the in the LA area, they can just easily find us on the streets of.
Oh well, if you're at that West Hollywood Halloween Carnival, one of the 500,000 people, there is a 4 in 500,000 chance that you will run into us.
That's right.
Or something like that.
And I think it's worth it. I think it's worth going down there and
Your hair
parking.
was better before you did that. No, it's worse. It was really good, and then I don't know what you did. You flattened.
Do you hear this? She's messing with my hair.
She had really.
It's mostly
he
a
had
radio.
Really great hair, and then he like patted it down and turned it into like a mullet.
You said the M word. You're going to regret that one.
Sure.
You are. Next
I didn't mean
haircut,
mullet down here. I meant mullet up top.
I'm shaving my head.
No, oh, that'd be interesting.
My daughters want me to do that. Well, one of them does. Really? No, that's not true. They want me to have an earring. They don't want me to shave my head.
Tattoos is what they want.
No. Deborah wants me to get a tattoo, I think.
Okay.
I think neither one of them care about either one of those things when it comes down to it. They're adult human beings now. They have their own life. Would you please tell the story?
Well, if you'd stop interrupting it.
I can't help it. Cody's making me.
Okay. And if you're watching the Google Hangout, you're not listening to anything. You're just watching the cute,
Cody
adorable
lick
dog
my chin.
lick his chin.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah,
And so's Cody.
So finishing the story, so it's not too much of an open loop. We're like, do they ever get to a point? I'm moving on because they never reach a point.
Yeah.
So we saw a sexy Glinda the Good Witch costume. We saw a sexy Dorothy costume, and we saw a Scarecrow costume.
Not sexy,
thankfully. But Bob was like, "Ooh, I could do Scarecrow," and he does. He has all the like funny googly moves or whatever, and the fact that he had even expressed that made me say, well, let's look at these other costumes then, because normally Bob's like, I don't know about that, I don't know, and then the fact that you said that, I'm like, let's build something, and especially because we know Valjean loves wizards, and he even talks about wanting to be a wizard. We thought, well, let's do Wizard of Oz or Wizard of Odds, So then. That was great. They were on board. Now we got something that all four of us can wear, and we'll all be happy. And then we got our costumes. We had fun creating it, getting it all ready to go. And then
we carved pumpkins.
What
a magical
which was really
day!
Fun. We should show that picture actually of our pumpkin on the balcony.
I mean, there is a way, I'm sure.
On Fun with Bob and Lynn, we'll have a gallery section where you can go look at photos.
Sure, let's go with that.
Well, we are going to create it. Mm-hmm. We have the power. As we have the power. So before we go down another road without finishing this point, so in the middle of the night or right before we were going to sleep or something, we were laughing, and Bob came up with this idea of what we should call it instead.
Oh, she's tossing it to me. Wizard of Bras. And the idea is that all four of us, have to wear bras.
On the outside of our costume.
Yes, on the outside. And the inside, that would just be...
Well, it's not like we have a bra around our neck or an arm or hanging on a hat. It's like outside the actual same costume.
Yeah, but I was thinking about with your costume and also Eli's, it's going to be, I mean, especially yours, because it's already white and looks kind of like, how are they going to...
I'm going to have a tan bra or like some, fancy, dancy black bra.
Something that screams
just
bra.
Something, yeah.
I'm fresh out of bras. I'm not sure what I...
Oversized bra and stuff it with straw. Oh!
That's an awesome idea!
Yay! You just witnessed
You saw it right here, because I was trying to figure out, well, okay, so the bras. But yes, you stuff it with straw.
Now we're just going to figure out where to get straw, but we'll figure that part out.
Home Depot probably has some straw.
True.
Any gardening supply.
Pumpkin patches right now have straw.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be really fun. And now we've got something to play with, and we'll stand out. Like, we're not just some other grouping of Wizard of Oz.
I also have a...
and Friends of Dorothy get free hugs.
Right. So if you'd like to hug Lynn Rose, book your flight now.
Huh?
To fly out to
But what
Santa
if they
Monica.
live in L.A. and they're just
Well,
going
then they don't
walk
have
around?
to book a flight, Lynn. That's obvious.
Well, I know.
What a silly thing to say.
What? It's only for people who are there while we're walking. Friends of Dorothy.
Right, so I'm saying they need to get here if they want to hug you.
Okay. We'll just move on.
I just feel like this is so clear. Yeah, so Wizard of Bras. And the other thing about, we were thinking about the Wizard of Oz or the Wizard of Odds. That's not figure-outable unless we have like a sign that says this is what we are. If they see four characters from the Wizard of Oz wearing bras, they will put it together.
And he's going to wear a sign in some creative way that he came up, which I forget what it is.
Who
Might
is?
even be across his bra. Valjean, Wizard of Bras.
Okay.
You know, something.
Okay, well, if he does it, that's fine.
I don't know how.
And I'm also carrying a plastic, or wrapped around my head. At this place, they had a fake, a brain, a fake brain. A bloody brain is how it's labeled, a bloody brain.
Yeah.
So I'll have that because, of course, the Scarecrow's song is If I Only Had a Brain.
I love it. I'll be carrying a basket with a stuffed animal that looks like Cody.
Oh, it's over there.
So that'll be our Toto.
Yep. Our Koto, if you will.
Okay, very, very good.
All right, so that's Halloween.
And we're going to share with you the fun and adventures and who we run into next week's show. So make sure you tune in and you can hear about all the wacky costumes and characters.
We could try and do it live like we did last time. The Spreaker app has been misbehaving.
Or we can just record it and then play that for next week's show. I like that idea.
Yeah, but then there's
no
video.
Stay tuned and find out.
But you're right. That's fine. It doesn't have to be video every week.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yay.
So shall we talk about last week?
All right, closing this.
Okay, last week, of course, we did a show because we promised every Tuesday night at 7 we're going to do a show.
Live.
It's got to be live. And the thing
Even when real life says, why you want to be live.
That's right. Because Lynn had agreed to pick up her mom and significant other at the airport and take them to her sister's house. But the pickup time was right smack dab at the beginning of our program.
And they were late. Their plane was late or they were delayed. So, I thought I might get back just in time or a little late, but instead it was going to have to be even all the more overlapping our show.
Right. So when we first started our show, I was in Atlanta a good bit of the time, and Lynn was in L.A., and we would connect and do the show via Skype or FaceTime or whatever the audio would come through. So this is doing a show without being in the same room was nothing new. So we had it set up where she would call from her phone and
or even while driving is nothing new, because in the beginning, I would almost all the time we'd be doing shows while I was driving with headsets in.
Right. And so that's how we started to hook up the show last week. I started because Lynn wasn't there yet, and then she joined. And we're trying to have the show. And you were on, you were on Skype or Hangout or something. We had video of you, and it would go back and forth.
Yeah, I forget how the video worked, but what was going on?
I think it was Hangout, I think.
But one thing that is important to know is that I forgot my headset, and now I'm trying to figure out also coordinating video while being able to hold and trying to maybe hold video. I could have just put it there, but I didn't have my headset, so I'm trying to hold it, and it's not quite working. I can't quite figure it out, and I'm driving. Eek. And my mom is texting, trying to say, well, we're going to be here, we're going to be there. And Susie's testing. Are you picking up, Mom? What's going on? Susie's my sister. All this is happening. I'm trying to coordinate this and tell Mom I'm on my way, all these different things. And I can't get the phone right. And so the car's probably swerving a little bit. And?
No, you have to tell
this I didn't know if you wanted to say how it sounded.
Well, I will say there's this one portion of video.
Don't jump ahead. Don't leap ahead.
Well, then you tell the story.
But leap in when it gets to that point.
Well, I thought we were there, but we'll find out.
Okay, so the swerving, and I realized, oh dear, there's a police officer. I got to hold the phone down here, but then I'm still trying to coordinate. I can't hear you while I'm trying to figure it out. And then, of course, at that time, come two different texts trying to coordinate the timing. And I wasn't even exactly sure it was a cop, and maybe you didn't see the phone or whatever.
Lynn and I were in and out of communication during that time. She would pop in video-wise or audio-wise, and we couldn't hear.
Oh, that was part that we were having technical difficulties making it work.
Right.
So I'm trying to solve that while being on it, not just that I don't have my headset and everything else. So, yeah.
So the last thing we hear from Lynn and see is this brief moment of this angst look on her face in a dark car with headlights and all this stuff going on. And she's like, Mom, I'm getting pulled over for talking on my phone. Hang up. And then we lose Lynn, and that's it. And then there's, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9 minutes.
So my mom was calling in.
Right.
Also. So I'm like trying to switch over, which I think either it cut, I don't know, it didn't cut off the hangout, but I thought I'd gotten over to her to say, hey, just, it was,
And
nightmare.
so now she's basically gone, and here I am in this very chair going, well, we've got this show going. What do I do now? it's live, and
I'm getting pulled over for having my phone.
And I'm sitting here going, seriously, like Lynn you haven't seen it, have you?
No.
Okay. So I'm sitting here going, that didn't happen. She's wrong. I'm sure she didn't get pulled over. There's no way that's happening. And then there's no contact. I'm like, well, okay, so if she did, I pretty much have to end the show. And so I'm doing that nonsense for 4 or 5 minutes. And then I finally say, okay, well, I guess it really happened. Goodbye. Yeah. But I also talk a lot about saying, I hope Lynn doesn't make me take down this show. Yeah. Because I want people, this is such a slice of real life that it's exactly what our show is about. Like, how great is it that she gets pulled over live during a show? I'm thinking, she's got to let me keep it up, but she probably won't. And the next time I talk to her, she's immediately, delete it! Delete it!
Say it that
it's
way.
So not the... Oh,
did not say it that way. I was definitely like, no, we got to delete it. That's
so much the spirit of... That's so not the spirit of the... Whatever it was you were saying. And I was just going, okay. I knew this was coming. So now, because we've started propagating our show all over the place, I have to go to all these different websites and start deleting. Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Because it was already out there,
Oh, great.
So.
Well, and I will say what happened after I dropped off the show is I immediately tell the police officer, oh, I'm so sorry. I was talking on my phone, and my mom was texting me because I'm picking her up at the airport. They just got in from out of the country. My sister's calling. I was trying to coordinate all that, and I didn't have my headset and whatever. And he goes, and then he goes, well, you're missing a front license plate. It's Bob's,
on my car, by the way.
It's Bob's car, and where's the registration? And I couldn't find Bob's registration. It's missing the front license plate. I was swerving, and then he thinks because I had been swerving, he wants to test me for drunk driving.
Boy.
So he holds up, and I had a drink before we left. We had a happy hour before, not happy hour like at a place, but just here we had a drink before I left. And so he was holding up the little light and trying to follow my eyes, and my heart was beating out of my chest. I told him,
hear it from here.
And I told the police officer too. I said, have you been drinking? And I said, no. I went, oh, nope, that's wrong. I had a drink before I left. And so he's like, okay.
I've heard you should never say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard that many times. But it's okay. You're
here
to tell the tale.
I wanted to be honest of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but he's holding the light up, and my chest, I'm beating out of my chest. And I'm so nervous. I'm already so tired because the night before I had not slept hardly at all. So I was already worn out, stressed, all this stuff. So all the more, I'm so tired. I'm trying to follow the light. I'm not quite sure. Am I doing this right? So he has me get out of the car and then wants me to, then does it out of the car. So I can't see quite right. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm trying to get out of the car and just, and so I hit a zone though, as I'm going, you know what? Stressing about this is not going to do any good. I literally like grounded. I just said, okay. And just like surrendered and say, whatever it's going to be is what it's going to be. And I created space. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like I created this spiritual space, if you will. Please just guide me, and then just followed the light and did everything. And it was like, okay, fine, to get back in the car and just writing me a ticket for cell phone driving and without a front license plate.
Meanwhile, I'm getting texts. I'm being tested for drunk driving. I'm now freaking out. I'm going, okay, my evening's changed. Am I going down to jail later to bail Lynn out? What's happening here? Like I was thinking, wow, we just wanted to do a show, and now it's so not doing a show.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about you telling your mom and the whole thing, like how that would have fallen apart. Would I have had to go get your mom from the airport? I mean, this is where my brain's going. Okay, Lynn's being carted off in the paddy wagon, But anyway, so once she said it was okay, I'm like you just can't even imagine the relief.
Sweetheart.
It was all selfish.
Sweet.
I just didn't want to go get you.
Oh, got it. Well, and great. I will say it also, I was very, very lucky that I had a nice police officer, meaning that he wasn't trying to get all puffed up and prove his authority, of which it had echoes back to, was it even 10, 15, 20 years later? No, gosh, earlier. I mean, yeah, 20 years earlier. That's right.
A la Wayne's World.
Yeah, true. It was 20 years earlier, and I had just gotten back from picking up photos from a photo session. and gotten in the car.
Which we'll show right now.
Backed out of the driveway. And right next to the driveway is the stop sign to where now you'll enter the normal streets and everything. So at the stop sign, I was putting on the seatbelt across my chest. And right at that point, a police officer was driving by and saw me putting on my seatbelt at the stop sign. He pulls me over and is like, well, you know, you're supposed to have your seatbelt on before you start the vehicle, whatever. And I like, well, I just right from that driveway right next to the stop sign, and I was just putting it on. Da, da, da. And he said, let me just check your whatever. Took my little license, went and checked it. And turns out, unbeknownst to me, from years earlier, when I had left to go on the road for a year for a Broadway show, I had gotten a fix-it ticket for my registration. I took care of my registration, but I had not taken care of that fix-it ticket.
Doe.
And so there was a warrant out for my arrest from a damn fix-it ticket.
I'm hanging out with a fugitive.
Right. So he comes back and says, you know, there's a warrant out for your arrest. What? So it was for what? For what for? You know, I think maybe he
Those
knew.
people were asking for it.
Right. I think maybe he knew it was for a fix-it ticket or whatever. I said, that was a fix-it ticket for registration. He said, doesn't matter. It's a warrant, whatever. And he grabbed my keys, threw them on the ground, said, get out of the car. He treated me like a hardened criminal. And before, he was like trying to come on to me almost, you know, while being all puffed up authority and, well, let me see those pictures. Yeah, uh-huh. I'm like, okay, that's creepy.
Really? He asked to see
yeah.
the pictures?
Yeah, he asked to see the pictures.
That is creepy. You should have reported him.
Well, I did after the fact.
Oh.
And he then, you know, put me in handcuffs.
Wow.
And had to leave my car where it was pulled over and took me to the local, what do you call it? I don't know, sheriff's department, jail, whatever. They handcuffed me to the bench.
Threw you in the pokey?
No, they didn't put me in the jail. But they handcuffed me to the bench while they went to process. And I'm sitting there going, how is this happening? I'm a good citizen here. This is stupid paperwork that I didn't realize, you know. It was an $850 for me to pay for the warrant.
Oy.
I called my boyfriend at the time, who was a sweetheart. I had another boyfriend in my life. Sorry. And he was a really great guy, and I'm friends with him still. Okay.
I'd like to meet this guy.
Yes, I'd love for you to, actually. And he's been married 15 years, and we're all friends. It's all good. Anyway.
We're all friends? I'm not friends with him yet.
Okay, you're not yet. See about the interrupting thing? See? Okay, y'all guys see now? See? See?
You invited it.
Yep.
You mentioned an ex-boyfriend, because that's all you ever do.
That's what happens when you've had 50 ex-boyfriends in your life.
Oi!
I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't know about that.
I'm kidding. So can I finish the story, please?
Please.
So they're not sitting there going, will you just get to the damn point?
Right.
So it finally got out of the hands of this over-authority puffed up, let me show how awesome I am. And I had to call my boyfriend at the time. He came in, paid my bail.
See, she can't stop talking about him. It's just constant.
Paid my bail. Now it's become a thing where no story will ever end because we've got to interrupt before you get to the end.
No.
That is
that's
completely what's going on.
No.
Totally going on right now.
Not happening.
No, anyway. So he pays for the bail, and then I say, can I just speak to the head sheriff or the manager or whatever? And they have me speak to one of the main guys. What? What are you laughing at?
The head sheriff or the manager.
I don't know, whatever the hell you call it.
The assistant manager.
The head of the sheriff's department, the head of all things
the
sheriff.
Manager.
Whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
It's funny to me. Sorry.
The chief of the department here.
All right. Where's Commissioner Gordon?
We got a problem. So I meet with him and I tell him what happened. And he goes, well, I'm sorry about that. It was his first day on the force.
Wow. So, yeah, I'd forgotten about that part. The first day on the job, and he gets all
puffed up. And there's nothing, it's not like they can't go, and here's your $850 back, and sorry for what happened to you, and let's take back the ticket. It's too late. Once it's written, it's done. And I had to go into court. And, they threw it out once I went into court. It was not a problem. But
well, does that mean you got your $850
I
back?
did.
Oh,
I did.
Awesome.
I had to pay maybe like $100
very happy ending.
bucks or something.
An inconvenience fee.
Yeah. But anyway, that was, so just imagine then with the being pulled over and texting cell phone, and I totally knew I was guilty. I was way over on my phone. It's
and now
lit
I
up,
have a fix-it ticket.
and I'm swerving trying to answer, so I know that, oh God, I so deserve to be pulled over right now, and I hope this guy doesn't pull attitude on me. Plus, I had a drink before I went out. I'm fine with driving, but in that situation, it looks a little suspect.
It was one Long Island tea. No, we're kidding. It's a joke. Yeah, well, that is a harrowing tale.
Yeah, but I lived to tell it.
You did, and I that was just surreal, and that's why we have to eventually release the video.
Ugh.
It's now we've explained it. We know it's a happy ending. We know the whole thing. They're wanting to see it.
Well, I didn't know that it was still recording. That I was on Hangout when I'm saying, "Mom, I'm getting pulled over," but I thought it switched over to the phone to say, "Mom, stop calling me."
No,
because I was not answering her phone call.
Yeah.
And
now I just keep thinking, what if it was like a year from now when we have a show, when we have an audience of hundreds of thousands of live listeners, and then it was thrown to me in that way.
Oh.
That would have been, and we had sponsors, and they expect a 30-minute to an hour show, and you can't just bail in the middle. I would have had to carry it.
And you would have done a brilliant job.
Well, yeah.
Where in the world is Lynn Rose right now? Like, where in the world is Waldo?
Cell block B, C, D,
E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P,
Hey!
Q, R, S, T, U, V,
W, X, Y, Z. Close that loop now. I think all of our loops are closed, and we're at 36 minutes. We went over our 30-minute. We said, there's no real rules.
We said 30 minutes to an hour and no rules.
There's no rules. It's a
So we didn't go over any 30
Come
minutes.
on.
Yeah.
But no one chatted. No one called with
We didn't
Skype.
even promote, so no one knows yet.
I know.
So,
we really got. So what are we going to do about that?
Well, we're
going to
change it. We're going to change all that, and let's stop talking about it and strategizing while we're at the end of a show. This is Bob Doyle in perfect prime manner.
Number one, when
which
she said
is let's
perfect,
talk about technical things.
I'm just
on
trying
the
to bring
show.
the audience
That is not
into
entertaining.
You don't understand. Yes, no. These people who are watching, whenever
they care that
they're
we promote the show.
If they're watching, they're like die hard. They're like, we love these guys and we want you to succeed, and they want to be brought in on the behind the scenes. I promise you, I'm right.
All righty. So then if you would like to help promote the show, please spread the word. Send folks to funwithbobandlynn.com. Make sure you subscribe as well so you can keep informed of future shows. And stay tuned because we'll be having a page where we show you pictures and videos of highlights from all the adventures that we're sharing with you. Make sure you go through the archives because we have adventures in the Grand Canyon, adventures in an abandoned Flintstones park. We have adventures through Halloween in West Hollywood.
We do.
Do the math. And one that's coming up very soon. We have adventures all over the map, but only you will know by going to Fun
With
Bob
and
Lynn.
.com.
Stay tuned for our Halloween show next week.
Well, it'll be post-Halloween. Oh, that's right. We're going to do it live. Okay.
Wait, let me sing. Oh, get up and choose. It's not a question of fate. Take control. Time to move. It's never too late. Already here inside the answer to your dreams. You've got the key. So decide. It's easier than it seems. Oh, but the higher power guiding you, your life will explode. You're gonna be cracking the Bob and Lynn code. Woo!
Never noticed there was actually an explosion sound in there.
Yeah, crack the Bob and Lynn code by having fun with Bob and
Lynn.
Lynn.com.